Hello, hello, hello. Take a minute and make sure everything is all set up. All right, we are live. So everything is good to go. I am actually not going to hold or wait on anybody to join. These sessions are held every Thursday at 12:02 p.m. right here on my personal Facebook page. I call these Ask Christian sessions. These sessions are really to help cultivate conversation around mental health, social change, business, it's just a combination of conversation for things that I'm multi-passionate about, and to also help us raise awareness around a lot of different topics that surround what functions with us on a daily basis. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all for watching each week. I really appreciate the support from last week's focus on mental health. I think that that was very freeing. I spoke with Ebony afterwards, and that was very freeing for her. It felt very good for her to actually be able to express that. I honestly appreciate the love and support that you all offered to her on last week's Ask Christian session. And I think it was very important that we all know that we have a loved one, we have someone that is dealing with mental illnesses or just going through a hard time in their mental capacity, period. And I think it's important for us to know how to support people. So this week, I really wanted to talk about business stuff this week, you all. I understand so many people want to be in business, and I also understand that so many people that I know are in business. So I'm telling y'all today, don't come on for one of y'all. I am using today's experience, like today's conversation, to address like some experiences that I have had. I'm using today's conversation to talk about things that I have done in business, things that have been helpful, things that have not been helpful, things that allow things to grow, how I pivoted. Like all of this conversation is going to kind of come in today. And I'm doing this for y'all because I know you all have these financial goals. You all have these life goals. You all have these personal goals that you all want to meet. And a lot of you all depend on getting your hustle into a full functioning business or getting to a place where you are able to actually, see the fruits of your labor. It's a lot of people out here putting in work and sweat labor and or just like lost, you know what I'm saying? And you feel stuck. And I hope that today's conversation kind of sheds light on that, on kind of where you are, so you can identify where you are, because you have to know where you are in order for things to progress for you. So I am just hoping that, you all get something from today. So if you are a current business owner and you're watching, can you just like raise your hand so I can see how many business owners are on here? Like do the hand signal or something. And while you all are doing that, yes, my name is Christian Shields. I am the host of the Ask Christian Shields sessions. I am also the founder of My Secret Purpose, who also creates the My Secret Purpose conference, who helps people discover their purpose and empowers them to succeed. Because I want y'all to unlock your purpose. I want you to feel it. I want you to know you're in it. I want you to be confident about being in it. And in order to do that, we have to address some of the hard stuff. So today, that's what we're going to address. All right. I see you. Okay. I do see. So what business are you in? Yana, can you share with us what business you're in? If you are a aspiring business owner, can you drop me a heart in the comments? I kind of want to get a feel of who is on here today so I can make sure that I use this time to address the ones that are like most important regarding business practices. And while you are doing that, I kind of want to give you all a glimpse of why we are having this conversation today. So last week I had called it wasn't last week. It was Monday. I had to make an appointment with a company. And when I contacted this company, I was on the phone with one of their customer service reps. Now, in the middle of having a conversation, normally people don't call unless they know what they're calling for. Like, people are not going to just say, oh, I want to do this just to do it. Like, if you're going to call and make an appointment with a company, it's because you're interested, or you want more information, or you're seeking to get your problem solved, or whatever it may be. So I'm on the phone with this customer service rep, and y'all, this is a reputable company. I ain't name dropping. I'm just saying it's reputable. So when I'm talking on the phone with this customer service rep, the lady is like, she's asking me questions, she's gathering my information, and in the process of gathering my information, y'all, she stops in the middle of the conversation and tells me that the person I'm trying to schedule an appointment with is not for me. One, that was a clue right there. I was like, oh, wait a minute, because I'm the type of person that before I make an appointment with you, I've done my research, I've read things, I know what I'm doing. I probably watched you anywhere between 6 to 12 months to make a decision on whether or not I want to move forward with you or not. Like, I'm that person. And so she stops in the middle of that, and I had to immediately tell her, I was like, ma'am, first off, I know why I'm calling. I know what this person specializes in. I know what their expertise is. Yes, I do qualify. And we got to the whole point in the conversation where I had to tell her, I was like, I don't feel like I'm being heard. And I want to stop right here, because some of you all have these businesses, you have these companies, and you have people working for you that are not actually upholding great customer service for the people that you serve, and that could be holding y'all up. And it was so sad and so disappointing for me, because I almost wanted to hang up that phone and tell that lady, and just call in and walk away. But I realized she was a customer service rep. I realized that she wasn't the actual owner of the business, and she wasn't the person I was looking to work with. So that made all the difference of me actually going back in and asking to speak to the right person and asking to be transferred to somebody else. Because had it been the owner of the business that did that, I probably would not be moving forward. And I probably wouldn't continue to find somebody to help me if I didn't need that assistance from that company. So that makes a big difference too. So making sure that you have something that's valuable. So here's where I want to go into business practices. You guys, you are growing and developing the business. It's very important that, one, you know what business you want to be in, and you know what type of service that you're going to provide. You know what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, when you get into business, it's you and whatever idea that you decide to cultivate and do. The survival and the growth, expansion, and everything of your business is going to depend on you. It's going to rest on your shoulders. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people that get out here and want to go into business based off of this grand idea that they have, but they have no clue what comes with that idea. Like, literally, when I think of some of the situations that I've heard or have experienced in business, is people that create businesses and start businesses based off of what they see somebody else doing. So they see that it's successful for somebody else, and they decide, oh, I want to do this business, but have no idea of the work that came with doing that business. So when I say, know what business you want to be in and know what you want to do, know how to do it, research, actually discover and go a little bit deeper to identify what your niche is. And I can tell you if you need to be doing that right now. So for those that are in business right now, if you find yourself in a place and your business is not moving in the way that you wanted to move and you really feel stuck, it's because maybe you got to address your mindset and about the business that you're in. Maybe you should address, what is it about your business that you think is just supposed to go? What was that quick fix that you tried to create and do that you thought was going to solve all of your business problems? Because I can assure you that there are multiple layers to being a business owner. Like, you have the whole marketing department. You have, actually, number one thing is you have to have a valuable service to even offer to people. And so if you are out here creating businesses and mocking what you see other people do and thinking that you know what you're doing, the truth is you don't have a clue about what to do about being in business. And today I'm really crushed because I have to have this conversation just from having so many crappy experiences. And it helps us too because we want to be better at what we do. We want to be able to serve people, and we want to keep a revolving door around having clients come in. We want to actually see the fruits of our labor. We want to actually make it. We want to be better. Like who goes into business and don't want to be better? Who goes into business and don't want to improve? Who goes into business and doesn't want to expand to the next level? Because the reality is, business is an evolving experience. That's why even with creating a business plan, it's a living document. And so some of these past experiences that really shook me is that to develop business practices that are going to allow you to train and teach and cultivate and motivate the people that you bring on board with you. Like, develop something that is going to actually help people know what it is that you're providing, why you're providing it, and help to actually shape the culture of the culture of your business, which a lot of people don't think it matters, but it truly does. And which brings me to like telling y'all, like, I see a lot of people out here just being nice. Like, y'all being nice. Like, I see people being nice because they want to gain people business. Like, be nice because that's who you are as a person. Be kind because that's who you are as a person. Because I also know people who are kind and nice, but when it comes to business, if they don't make that sale, if they don't get that person on board that they just spend so long being kind to and people pleasing, then they are very hard with themselves and ready to give up in business. So be who you are, regardless. If that's what you're going to do, if that's the character of yourself, then make that the culture of your business and learn how to serve people and being kind and polite without expecting anything on the back end. And I think that can help a lot of people when it comes to things. And also having a system and a structure in place can help your business to really run like a machine, because here's the thing, you want to grow, right? You're not in business just to stay the same. You're not in business to keep the same title, to continue to be a solo entrepreneur, to run things how you've been doing it. You're not in business to have to be the customer relations manager, to be your marketing director. You're not in business to have to be the person that creates all of your content. A true person that is that is in business and want to move things forward, they're going to be the person that's like, I just want to do what I love. Like, what is it that I have to take off of me to do the part that I love so that I can make good at, so that could be better. And I think that as you develop as your character and your personality as an owner, like, you're going to want to do things that are going to improve you. So which means that you may have to bring some help in. Like, it's crazy. Like, you may have to bring some help in, and you may have to define what that help is going to look like and what people you actually need to have a sustainable business. You have to actually do that work. Like, you can't. I'm so sick and tired of seeing people go into things and wanting things to just happen like that. Like, nothing happens overnight. Nothing is just a quick and easy fix. Nothing is just a change that says, you know what, we're here, we made it, and this is what it is. And my revenue goes from 30,000 to 250,000 overnight. Like, it never happens like that. And then you realize that, being an owner is a lonely road sometimes. You got to find people and build people around you that are motivated, people that understand you, people that value what it is that you want to do, and do business with other people that have some integrity about themselves. Because, you see a lot of people that just want to hustle and make a quick buck, but they're not teaching you how to use what you just bought from them. And I think that's major too. You see that in a lot of areas of graphic designers or website builders and developers. You'll pay somebody to do your heavy lifting, but you don't know what they did. You don't know how to create the SEO. You don't know how to get access to the accounts. And then they hold y'all captive with the money that y'all paid them to help get the help that y'all need. And y'all got played, and they keep you on this retainer because you didn't learn what it is that they did. You just paid them for a service. And I think that every business owner should actually know when you pay somebody to do something, know what you're paying them to do. Understand what it is that they just did, because you never know when you have to kind of come in and teach that and offboard that onto something else. And I hate it. Crushes me, y'all. It crushes me when I see people playing people like it's enough at the top for everybody. You understand? And one of the biggest mindset shifts that I had in business with understanding this was, for me, it's for me. I don't have to try to finesse nobody. I don't have to try to manipulate or play nobody in business. You want to know why I don't have to do that? Because I got integrity about myself, and what's mine is mine. Like, you can mock whatever you see, but the work, if you don't do the work, that's what makes it not go. If you don't put in what you got to put in, like, there's this mantra that we have, like with my team, right? There's this mantra, you like, if you do nothing, you gain nothing. And that's the real thing. If you do nothing, you gain nothing. And I think I need to start understanding that when it comes to business. It's not, stop creating these buzzwords and these quick idea businesses. That's cool. But if you're a service provider, the service providers know it's much more harder to do a service than it is to just sell a product. It's harder. It's way harder to do that. And one of the things that I gave up is convincing people. I'm not convincing nobody of what they need. Life will do that for you. I don't have to tell you if you need personal development. I don't have to tell you if you need somebody to offboard your business practices, your business infrastructure, because you haven't figured out how to delegate your own tasks. Where you at is going to tell you whether or not if that's for you and what needs to take place. And I think that, when you all become confident in the business that you do, all of that other people pleasing activity that you may be experiencing or doing, that stuff goes away, and then let me drop this in here, y'all. Somebody asked me the other day, they was like, why do you use StreamYard and you use the free version of StreamYard? And here's what I told them. I said, listen, you got to know what to pay for and what not to pay for in business. Because here's this thing. Don't forget, y'all promoting on your own personal Facebook page, which you don't pay for either. So sometimes you got to help people understand the logic in behind what you do. And not everybody is going to get what you pay, what you invest in and what you don't invest in. That's the thing. You understand? When you smart with business and you got good business acumen and you understand finances, you will know what you do and what you don't do. You will know what you invest in and what you don't invest in. Now, if I want to boost this, then I'll pay for sponsorship and an ad, and then we talking something else. So at the end of the day, like, have conversation with people that understand the nature of what it means to grow and develop in business, and stop just doing stuff to be doing stuff. Like I'm telling y'all, I'm at the point where, when you get to a place and you like, you know what, I've changed. So I know everything ain't going to be the same. I know it's going to be different. So you will start doing things different. Hold on, let me see what sis said. She said, and too many business owners don't have a website or one that's nice and functional. Let me tell you something about that, okay? Because that was one of my things. I got two things about that. One, listen, let me say something. Run a business like a business. At the end of the day, you do need something that is going to be professional looking. You do need something that is going to provide something and be functional. I'm with you all day, sis. But let me tell y'all something. The first thing you need is a service. And if you don't have a legitimate built service with the infrastructure to back whatever it is, that means like a scheduling, a payment system, and all of that type of stuff, then you already in a bad spot. Like, understand, a lot of y'all, some people are so quick to jump to making the buck that they don't build their business the proper way. Like, come on, you can't accept stuff through Cash App all the time. Like, you got to have some refund. Here come policy. You got to have some refund policies in place. You got to have some some terms and conditions in place when you're working with people. That's the whole purpose of policies, to protect your business. Because when you did a LLC for your business, that means you're protecting your assets and separating them from your business, which leads me into the other thing. Stop asking people. Like, let me tell you something. It's enough free information out here with these nonprofit organizations that are receiving funds to teach you for free how to develop these LLCs. But if you want to do it right and you want to do it the smart way, you all should really build your LLC with an accountant. You want to know why? Because LLC, according to the state, is really attached to the tax bracket that you'll be in. So understand what it is you're doing before you do it. Like, You know what I'm saying? I would love to help, and I would love for people to continue to ask me questions. But the thing is, stop picking my brain when some of this stuff you can really identify yourself. Like, you can really figure out what it is that you need in business and go after it and do it. And understand you don't have to be running back and forth. If you're running back and forth in your mind about something, then I really want to encourage you to ask yourself, are you getting into something because that's in you, that's the spirit of you inside of you that wants to do that, or is it something that you seen work for somebody else and now you in it? Because I'm telling you, it's work. And now, like, listen, y'all. So at the end of the day, you still have to build your own business. At the end of the day, you still have to build your own business. If you do nothing, you gain nothing. Period. You still have to believe in what it is that you're doing. And that don't mean I gotta believe for you or whoever you talk to gotta believe for you. Because when I first started business, I was talking to my families and friends about it. And when I tell you, everybody was like, "That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea." You know what I'm saying? Like, you ask somebody else that's not your family and friend and loved one that ain't gonna be proud of you, and they gonna tell you, first get in the market, first identify your industry, first identify your niche. They gonna tell you straight up, first off, they're gonna challenge your thinking, because they're gonna need you to know and understand that you're opening yourself up to something real. I ain't saying family and friends aren't supportive, because you need that emotional motivation, but at the same time, you're gonna want somebody who is opposite of that to tell you about what it is you're trying to do, so that if you grow and develop something that's actually legitimate and real. One second, yeah, I'm parched. All right. So here we are. You still have to work hard. You still have to put the work in behind whatever it is that you do. You still have to allow yourself to develop. You have to allow yourself to develop. That means that your personal development has to evolve as time goes on. Your personal issues, you have to address your personal issues. Because I know people who treat their people who work with them horrible. Like, the way they talk to them, it blows my mind. I'm like, y'all, wait a minute now. Just because I'm paying you to be a part of the team does not mean that you get to talk to people any old kind of way, or talk to your customers any old kind of way. I told y'all that experience Monday was horrible. Like, it was really horrible. I was literally ready to go to another business, because sometimes you never know the mindset of a potential customer or a potential client, because they could be looking at, okay, if the receptionist or your customer service reps are like is that a lot of times they're looking at the leader. They're looking at the leader like, okay, well, the leader may be like that if this person is like that. Now, that's not always the case, but that's why I say it's important to make sure that you develop the culture of the organization it is that you're going to, that you're building. It's really important, y'all. And let me make sure I don't miss anything. Whatever you do something with purpose. Do something that's meaningful. Do something that is going to impact and help other people get what they need and get what they want. Like, have something and create something that's going to really pay things forward. You want something that's going to evolve beyond you. And I know a lot of business owners that were like, I started here, but this ain't where I want to stay. Like, I want to be able to build and create something, because eventually you don't want all that work to be on your body. Like, that's a lot of work for you as an individual to carry on year after year after year. Like, you want something that eventually is going to be passive for you. So start thinking about, is what you're doing and what you're providing, is that something that you can see yourself doing for a long time? Is this something that you do right now as a hustle? Is this something that you want to pass down and create legacy off of? Like, and if it is, how can you turn this into something that is going to actually build and create and generate for years to come and pass it on? Because at the end of the day, y'all, your state, federal, and local government is depending on you to come up with a grand idea, see it all the way through, grow it to a large corporation so that they can get on the back end of your taxes and your policies and procedures to regulate the way you do business, so that other people within the world can receive employment because of your grand idea. Believe it or not, that's how it works. So you all hear me out when I say this. Like, we all are. One thing that is going to help your business is understanding that we all work together. Like we work together to help build things. We work together to help move the economy. We work together to help develop and spread these ideas and get things into full out perspectives. And I think it's important that we remember that that's what we do. On all aspects of everything. And some advice to give to some people, like, listening and not assuming is I'm going to say that's a great practice in business, because whoever you work with is going to, whoever you decide to work with, you want to be able that you are listening for their needs. You want to be able to know that you are listening to whatever it is that they expect you to be able to help them solve and do in their world, and that's important, because you can't effectively grow if you don't have data that is driving your business, if you don't have evidence that is driving the decisions that you make as a business. And I think that it's important. I too many times I'm asking, where's this, where's that? And it's because people don't even have data to support that. They don't have any information to drive what they're doing. It's just one person making this decision and think it's a good idea, and they take it, run with it, and go and wonder why it didn't get anywhere. Thank you, sis. Thank you for joining in. All right. Thank you for joining in on today. I definitely hope that the rest of this is going to be good for you. Listen, we are gatekeepers, you all. We are gatekeepers, and that have to know what we're talking about, that have to know that what we're doing works, that has to know that this is going to be something that is needed in the future. We have to be forward thinkers, you all. We have to be forward thinkers, and have something. And then when you engaging with your clients, like, separate your personal from business, like, know how to have that gap in between there. Like, the business people need to have like-minded people to conversate about business stuff too, so that when a business owner is speaking with a potential client, you want to be able to just be specifically focused on what it is that person is coming to you for. And you want to be able to specifically talk about what it is that you're providing. You don't want to have to deal with the headache of trying to understand all aspects and include your personal life. You don't want to be that enmeshed that people can't separate how good of a service you can give them and what they need from you from how you using them to personally vent. Okay, because it's real, y'all. So here's some things. You want to be able to allow people the opportunity to listen. So many times I've seen people who has a experience that is unfavorable with the business owner, but is unwilling to work and show grace to the person they had an experience with, or try to, in a good act of faith, try to reconcile things and make things better. But on the other end, you see them doing business, and they are loud about how a client didn't show up, or a client didn't respond to an email. Like, you all keep that same energy. Okay, if you want something back, show grace to people, have good acts of faith, have a conversation with them. And then if you can't do it, hire somebody that can manage your customer relationship so that you can continue to stay in business, because it doesn't work. It works both ways. You got to have grace in business at the end of the day. You want to know why? Because we are human, and that's the experience of being a human. Regardless of what we think, that's what that is. And whatever you are planning and doing, have goals. Have some goals right here. Like, okay, I hear you. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you're loving it, because a lot of people are out here and they don't have goals, realistic goals. Okay, we're not just talking about setting financial goals. We're talking about have realistic goals about what it is that you want to do. Are you creating something so that you can build a legacy? Are you creating something so that you can bring somebody else behind you? Are you creating something to kind of build your name up? Because the truth is, as you go up, things change, and they don't change. People change, right? People change. Who you surround yourself with changes. It changes automatically. You don't have to worry about cutting people off. You don't have to worry about hearing somebody or introducing. Like, honestly, you all, the truth, the secret is, it changes on its own. You don't even have to worry about none of that. Like, you just keep focused on what it is you're trying to do, and you build and you develop that. As long as you make sure you keep talking about what it is you're doing, you gotta be your own person that drives and guides your your vision. You are the driver, which means that you got to keep talking about what it is that you do and don't stop. That means don't stop if you see 2 people show up. Don't stop if you see 5 people show up. Don't stop because you see low numbers. You got to keep going because you got to believe in it. 9 out of 10 people are trying to make sure and watch that you believe in what it is you're trying to get them to believe in. Remember, we're not in the business of convincing people. We're in the business of doing what our spirit wants us to do, what our spirit is led to do. That's what we're in the business of doing. And once we keep that concept on the forefront and understand that this is what we're doing and we believe and stand behind this, that will drive you to better. You don't have to worry about if it is, if it isn't. Like, things will do on its own. And then people, like, understand what it is you're doing. I said this a little minute ago because I'm so tired of seeing people doing what they think they see people doing and having no idea what they're doing. Like, just watching something one time, watching the video one time, and then deciding that you're going to get out here and do it and just start something and do your own thing. Please stop. You all that's harmful. That is so harmful. You don't know the research. You don't know the purpose. You don't know why that person decided that they were going to come out here and decide they were going to help you. Like, you don't know what trauma or experience led that, because a lot of times you see people, they are mock it. And let me be honest with y'all. We know, we see it. We see it. But at the end of the day, like, you got people that's out here mocking stuff and don't even know. You have no idea what you're doing. And you may never say it in public, but we see you and we know that you are just trying to create and do something that you have no experience, no background in doing, and that you probably watched somebody else do, or you watched the video one time, it looked easy, and now you out here creating more damage than you are helping people because you don't know what you're doing. So y'all, get an understanding. Always get an understanding of what's taking place and know what's going on. This is probably not the direction that I really wanted to go today but it's good. It's good. It's good. I'm going to end on where I think we need to understand and kind of help some of us in this place, because we have to understand that you have to know where you are. And are you really diversifying your reach? And that probably just went over some of y'all heads, because Facebook is not the only place for marketing. LinkedIn is not the only place for marketing. There are still relationships that have to be developed offline. Your timeline are not all of your customers. Like, that's just not how it works. You still have to identify who your client avatar is. You still have to identify what service it is you're going to provide, why you're providing that service, and is your service really needed? And is it a forward-thinking created service that's going to help somebody in the future? Let's just be smart about what we're doing. And if you're doing it for fun as a hobby, then do something that's less harmful, that doesn't include people. And if you're providing a service that doesn't include people, sell a product or something, but don't do a service. Because anytime that you do or create a service, you're in service to people. You're in service to the human experience, which means you have to have empathy, which means you have to have some consideration and compassion about what you do and how you do it, which means that you're going to have some patience, because not everybody knows what it is that they need right away. People have to develop the mindset and get to a place of saying, you know what, I really need help, and here's how I'm going to get it. So if you're in the business of serving people, then be mindful of your own self as a person in your own human experience. That's all I'm going to ask y'all to do, because I'm so sick of people coming from the angle of manipulation and people holding people hostage, especially service providers holding clients hostage because you want to make sure that they need you later on, or you think that, or you don't want them to go to somewhere that's better than you. That is a poor mentality to have. It's poor. When you are working with people, you have to understand and be mindful of the human experience. And it changes depending on the person, because the backgrounds and experience is always different. So that's all I'm going to ask y'all to do. Just know people out here preying on people that are in the acts of doing good faith with service at the forefront. But the whole point I really want to talk to you all today too, just out of all of that, like I said, I was going to share some experiences that I was just not happy to have had, and some experiences and things that I've had to help people kind of work through, because you all know these business practices does cause a it does something to the people who you provide services to. Do y'all know, like, it's becoming a therapist, like it's becoming a mental health professional in the industry, period. Like, you all know how many times you sit across for somebody who had a bad business deal and they are devastated, but they can't reach out to the business owner that created the issue, you know, and to talk about it and try to make it better, because business owners aren't responding back to customers' emails. Business owners aren't answering calls or text messages or whatever, whichever way they doing business. And then they business owners are blasting the customers as if they are like peasants are below them. Like, come on, y'all. Let's be real about how we do things. The true essence is developing a community around what you do, because you all understand, if you have one person get something, then you really actually do it with integrity and you actually help them. Like, that person goes and they bring somebody else with them, and that's how you begin to grow. So make sure it's you all the way if you're doing business and in the acts of doing business. At the end of the day, you all, as you grow, you want to make sure that you put a system in place. You want to put somebody behind you. If you know that you are not the person that need to be working with people, hire somebody. Hire somebody to come in to run your customer relations. Hire somebody to come in and make sure that your business has a response system in place that is going to make sure that things run smoothly. Make sure that you are putting things into perspective, especially if it's something that you don't love and enjoy doing. Period. Because you're a service provider. So again, being a service provider means that you're in service to people. And if you're becoming a business owner or desire to be a business owner, or you are a business owner, then if you do nothing, you gain nothing. So take this information today and make sure that you are mindful about what it is that you're doing and how you are creating things, and don't rush it. Don't rush to being something and wanting something so bad that you build it on a makeshift way, that you build it in a way that it'll crumble. It'll crumble. And be realistic about what it is that you need, what your business goals are, and how you need to do it. Because I'm let me tell y'all, like, I've had some very crappy experiences in building a business, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, it took me in business for a minute to learn and understand that, if you work with a graphic designer to help build or develop things, it's things that graphic designer is supposed to give you back, like the color of your logo, or the color of your or give you a palette to complement it. It's just simple things like that. Like, give more, over give. It's not gonna hurt. You're not losing money. If you already in a scarce mentality, like, I'm losing money having to pay it forward, then you may want to question what it is and why you're doing it. And even in that experience, you all, like, do your research about the people that you're going to work with and what it is that they are providing, because you don't want to find yourself in a position where you feel like that business or that company is holding you hostage in whatever you're providing with them. You don't. And you think you don't. Oh, that's not gonna happen to me. Like, I literally, you may be like, oh, that ain't gonna happen to me because I know my stuff and X, Y, and Z. Yeah, okay. So do the people that's trying to sell to you. So just be mindful. Be mindful. And make sure that you are preparing yourself for what you're going into, making sure that your paperwork is in order. One of this advice, I don't know who this is going to help, but I'm hoping it's going to help somebody. If you are starting at the place of a logo and you get ready to just put your logo out there and be like, coming soon, I'm telling you right now, stop. You don't do the logo and the website until after you have fully developed the business. You develop the way the business is going to run. You set up your business accounts. You've spoken with attorney about contracts, policies, terms and conditions, and refunds, and how you're going to work with your clients. And then you have your system, your workflow of what that's going to look like when you're communicating with your clients. Like, the logo on website is your very last stop, because by the time you get to logo, you need to make sure that whatever your graphic designer creates, that it's not trademark or similar to any other trademark, so you just be ready. You know what I'm saying? And if you in business and that's what you're doing, it's okay to kind of take a step back and prepare yourself to come back in differently, to do things differently. It's okay. It's okay if you find that what you're doing isn't something that works for you anymore and you need to change and you want to go a different direction. That's the whole thing. That like that's beautiful. You see people that have failed businesses all the time, and failed is a strong word, but you see businesses that have things that didn't work, but they pivot. Y'all still using iPhones. We still using iPhones, and in each version that comes out, we are still like some people are moving forward, some people are staying with what they have. But at the end of the day, you know how many times it took them to actually create a good mock-up of an iPhone? Like, come on, y'all, let's be real. It takes time. And you got to be patient enough to get to where to start getting the results that you want, so you can start getting the output that you want. You have to be patient and find reputable people. You know, not just don't just find a sale, find somebody that is a good fit for what it is that you do, so that it could be a mutual exchange and you feel it when you make that exchange. I think that that's pretty good. So I'm going to review my notes. I'm going to take about 30 seconds to review my notes. If you all have any questions that you want to ask or anything that you want me to talk about really quick, please drop them in the comments. And then if you're watching this on replay, I'll come back and respond to things in the comments. But for those of you that are watching, even if you had experience that was unfavorable, tell me about that too. Like, I'm always interested in learning, like, what was that hard lesson for you in business that shaped you into say, you know what, I gotta pull this together as a business owner. I gotta pull it together. So y'all listen, here's this thing, you all, like, if you all want to do better, you want to get better in whatever it is that you're creating, you have to have a better way of talking to people, engaging people, managing people, and managing your client relationships. Like, don't just be nice to get a sale, but make sure that's the culture of your company. And you know, because you want to make sure that you show your true colors up front. Don't wait to change, you know, because you're gonna have good moments and bad moments in business. You're gonna have moments that really challenge you to see, how don't you know, how am I about to talk to this person? You know, how am I going to handle this person? Is this worth responding to? You're gonna have those moments. And it is all right if you find out, you know, that something is not working for you and you decide to switch gears. The biggest thing here is understanding that you can't grow and stay the same. So if you hit a place that no longer serves you, then change, because it's impossible to grow and stay the same. And I only say you can't use impossible. I'm telling you, it's impossible. If you need help, get the help that you need. Act Ask for some assistance or search for companies that can help you with your operational practices so that you're better able to function, and or just focus on what it is that you love doing, because that makes a huge difference. And stop using things as a place to just dump. Like, be mindful about what it is that you're using. You know, set some things on automation. Even if you have frequently asked questions that you see people constantly ask you, turn it into automation so that people can constantly see it. Put that up on your website. You know, if people steady asking you questions about what it is that you do, then it's probably time for you to either one, pivot, or begin to develop what that content actually looks like, so that you can be more clear to the people that you're servicing, because you don't want people to have really bad customer service experiences when they are trying to engage in your company. So listen, you all, I appreciate all of your help today. In the comments, I appreciate your participation and watching this, because I really care. I want us to be successful. I want you to be successful. And I always speak to myself anytime that I do a live or have a conversation about anything, because I gotta have that accountability measure in place. Just like I'm saying, let's make sure we do right. The same thing goes for me. We all have to make sure that we are doing right. We all have to make sure that we are putting things in place that are for the good, as forward thinkers. So listen, you all, let me make sure I didn't miss any comments. Yes. Okay. So you all great. You all are great. And I'm glad you enjoyed this conversation. So listen, Ask Christian sessions are held right here every Thursday at 12:02 p.m. Yes, the 2 matters. The 2 minutes matter. It's my grace period. But also remember to connect with yourself authentically, to Commit to your balancing your own life, taking care of your own business and your own self-care, and consistency, doing that consistently at a pace that works for you. All right, y'all. Until next time, peace out. Share this broadcast if it helped you, and let people know what about this broadcast helped you so that we can definitely make sure that we get those questions answered and that we helping people out here, y'all. Because if you do nothing, you gain nothing. And we out here serving people on the front. So y'all, peace out.